So the cutaways are just going to be for the first 10 seconds.
Same one, just a little bit different lettering on it.
We're back. Our second segment of Windy City Redneck, the vodcast, Season 4, Episode 4. Reverse countdown, 3, 2, 1. This is number 3. There'll be 2 more after this. And then let's talk about that now. We were talking about a little bit about what we had going on. We talked a little bit about having Northwoods Matt was on it and some of the things that we did and funny episodes and all that stuff. I extended an invitation to a couple of our guests that were on, so we'll see where that goes. But what are your thoughts? What do you guys want to do with the last 2 episodes? Well, we got this segment here, and I know what we're going to talk about in this one. We'll go through that, but I mean...
you say November 5th?
Two?
Yeah, the election. That's in 2 weeks, by the way.
2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, and let's not blow that, because that's what this segment is about. So we'll do that. So do you guys think there's a chance we can wrap it up before the end of the year?
We should.
We want to do...
Might not be a bad idea.
We'll do one in November, and
but then
maybe we'll try and do one...
busy with everybody and
Christmas break.
Christmas and stuff like
so
that.
I would say maybe... If we can get it done in the last one in December, that would be great. Okay. If it turns out to be early January, I'm good with that too.
Yeah.
But we'll just start thinking
January.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I know you're going to be busy with that. Now. So, and again, thanks for making this work for you, and thanks for you making it work. I mean, it was great that we could finally get together.
Right.
Missed both of you guys. It's always a good time to count on this. Sometimes.
So we didn't see you this summer, right? I don't think we did. We didn't do our Sox game, did we?
Well, Patrick passed away.
Yeah.
And then...
well, no, we saw you. Obviously, we saw that. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, but I mean, and then I
usually
have
do a White Sox game, though.
Well, you have no idea about my trials and tribulations of moving the wife out to Vegas, because I haven't seen you.
No.
And
you seem happy, though.
And Paisley's here. Paisley's supposed to be living in Vegas.
Yeah. Wow.
I remember that story.
The whole... driving across the country thing and flying back turned into basically staying out there for a day and a half after arrival and putting together furniture, picking up furniture, putting together furniture, hanging blinds, and then going renting a car and bringing your dog back that you thought was going to move out there and canceling your flight.
Okay.
And then having everything that could possibly happen on the way home happen. I'll give you a little snippet.
Dog shit in the car.
No, she was great. She was an angel.
You shit in the car.
I was driving back when there was that. What was the thing called? Storm cloud. What was the computer breakdown? Something cloud. Storm cloud. What was it called?
Oh, you're talking about when
Cloudgate?
No, when they had the massive outage.
Yeah, the computers went down.
Yeah.
That was.
So I'm staying in
software that.
Yeah, it was Cloudgate, wasn't it?
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So picture this.
I can hear you fine.
So I'm on the way home.
Touch me.
I'm on the way home. I'm on the way home with the dog.
Well, now this segment he's going to go to
the only dog-friendly hotel in Nebraska that I could stay at was a Hampton Inn, and I love Hampton Inn. It's a great brand. They're always clean and whatever.
If they want to sponsor us on our next
Roscoe,
only 2 more to go.
Roscoe gets the reservation for me. I told her what town I was going to be in. She's like, okay, but their computers are down because of the Cloudgate thing or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I get there, 350-room hotel.
Right.
And you can't get a key. They have one master key.
Oh.
So you had to stand in the lobby, okay, with all of your stuff, and they would go up to each floor and bring everyone up there.
June? Was it June, right?
No,
or July?
It was July.
Yeah, because we were staying
and I've got the dog. And so if I have to take the dog out, okay, to go to the bathroom,
right,
you have to put the little bar in and leave your room open. Well, what am I going to do? I got my laptop, I got cash, I got all my stuff. What am I going to do? Take it with me? So the whole deal is that basically me and Paisley, we got about 4.5 hours of sleep because when she got up to go to the bathroom, I put all my stuff on and we just fucking left. I mean, and then there was, if you've ever driven through the Rockies, there was a motorcycle exploded, closed the gap going through there. It was one thing after another. When I got to Iowa, I thought like I was home. And I thought I was like at Southwest Highway. Wow. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt about it.
We were staying at the Great Wolf Lodge in Gurnee. We took the grandsons to Great America and stayed overnight. And woke up in the morning, came down, do some work, get a couple. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in the Great Wolf Lodge. They couldn't Same thing. Everything was shut down. I'm like, come on, it's coffee. Like, can you give me a cup of coffee? And
but that shows you
I
how
won't leave here.
That shows you how dependent we are on technology.
Yeah.
Which is
but they said, well, this
thing.
is what this is. The guy goes, well, yeah, we can do that. I'm like, okay, then what's the problem? Like, what's the problem? I'm not saying I'm not going to pay you. I'm saying here's $5. Coffee's $2. Yeah. Keep the $3. I want the
crowd
coffee.
strike.
Crowd strike. That is what it was. I said cloud. Yeah.
Clouds working.
But how it relates is that just it was a crazy summer, and you said, "Hey, have we seen you?" And no, because I mean, so I was doing the move, and then coming back, and then trying to do things here, and then shipping things out to her, and then getting. It was just been one thing after another. He's had his stuff going on, and none of it's a complaint. It's just
I guess we'll go out to see you and go to the A's playing somebody, right? Then
there you go.
When they get
I'd like to go see a
done.
hockey game too out there.
Yeah,
I bet it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You've been to hockey game there, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, now they're getting football too, or is it baseball?
No, football's there.
They're getting baseball. Yeah, they're getting baseball. Yeah, because we were just out there in June.
Their football team. Oh my
did
God!
you?
I tried watching that the other day. They're
sorry, my attention span.
the boys have already been to hockey
there's a
games
net
already this year.
Now is it that what they're getting the A's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're getting the A's.
Okay.
So
I just said we'll go to the A's game.
well, they tore down the
I know you did.
Tropicana.
Yeah, it's the Tropicana. They were taking it down when we were out there.
Yeah, they blew it up a couple weeks ago. It's totally down their building already. So
yeah, they were still working on it.
Wait, they have baseball now?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they
do they?
They already have the Las
I
Vegas.
heard they were turning Downs.
Yeah.
They already have the Las Vegas Aviators, the minor league team. It's affiliated with the Athletics. It's owned by the Howard Hughes Corporation. It's a great facility if you want to get into and go check out some minor leag baseball. But you were
I will
talking
not
about
be going to a White Sox game next year. I'm not.
Yeah, we were talking. Well, this all started with. I said just when we started recording this segment. Did I get him?
No, but we all thought we did. There actually is a gnat flying around.
Yeah,
Sure.
we were talking.
There's other reasons why we haven't gotten together in a while.
Yeah, one of the things I like is
You get to see the gnats?
there's times where I wish we would keep the camera rolling when we take a break.
because I say stuff that.
Yeah, but there's but this last break though, you didn't say anything that was bad. We're just
Because
having some
I'm easing my way
conversation.
back into this.
Yeah.
Well, the LaRussa story was a good one.
No, and I'm not going to tell this.
I know you're not gonna, but I'm saying it was a good one.
It was a very good one.
Yeah, if we could do the off-air one. So, all right, so let's get. So we're gonna try and do.
We're going to talk about
squirrel.
something.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna do
Politics.
So
I'd rather
we're gonna
no.
try. Let's try and get some people in.
Okay.
Or on before. So if you want to reach out to Cooter, anyone who wants to come in on the next one,
Okay.
Which
we
one
can
is
do
Cooter?
that one.
He was the
Mark's
guy
a
who sat
tattoo
here.
guy.
Tattoo
guy.
Cooter said, yeah,
Mark.
okay.
Actually, shout out to him. His son's coming in. He's in Navy.
Oh, yeah,
coming in
okay.
this weekend,
Yeah.
and he'll
Yeah.
be up at the Rebel.
Yeah,
on,
it was good. It was good to
birthday
see him the
party
other night at the club.
welcoming home.
And then
kind of a party.
it was Michelle, right? Was the other that came in? What was her name?
No, that was
Tattoo. She used to work at Los Angeles.
not Daniela.
No.
Nicole.
Nicole. That's
Nicole.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Nicole in a while. I saw her over the summer. But I'll reach out to everyone. I did that, and then we'll see who can get to come in, and maybe we'll get some beers, and we'll just let people tell some stories and stuff or whatever. Their favorite episodes.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah.
We could do that.
So we're not going to do the one. Remember we talked about coming to my basement?
Yeah. Well, that might be one of the reunion ones.
Okay. Because you'll be looking for a place to stay.
Yeah. Well, hey, I extended an invitation to you tonight.
I know.
Yeah. So,
Did you stay at our house or did you stay in a hotel the one time you came out the
no,
shower?
we stayed at a hotel because I snore like a motherfucker. You don't want me to be any. Hey, we are explicit language, by the way. You don't want me staying in your
I
house.
have a CPAP machine, so
Yeah. Well, I
Darth
don't.
Vader.
So
yeah. But I'm same. And I had that nasal surgery done.
Did you?
And because the first 3 years of having that CPAP machine, I hated it. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Did the surgery work?
Yeah, well, now the CPAP machine works because of the surgery.
This is the same company that sold you the CPAP.
No, completely different. But what the doctor that said, she goes, "You're still going to snore."
Is this the same organization that sold you season tickets to the White Sox?
No,
Huh?
that's a family thing. That's one of Sheila's cousins. We buy them from, but
Yeah.
no,
That you used to buy.
used to buy them from. Yeah.
Did you seriously get rid of?
Yeah.
You've not worn any of your socks?
No, it's still in garbage bags. It's in my closet.
So
a
Roscoe,
shame.
now that she's out in Vegas, she
It is
actually
because I have some really cool White Sox.
she
stuff.
actually gave away a lot of her stuff and has converted over there. She got her license plates on her car, and she got VGK. Vegas Golden Knights. She got VGK plates. Okay. So it's cool.
And he's threatening again to leave. I'm done. I mean, I love the White Sox. I will always love the White Sox, but I'm done giving them.
Yeah, but did you see
time and money?
Did you see what Manfred said today?
He said they won't move out of Chicago.
Yeah, he's like, we'll always have two teams, and he's covering. But the thing that pissed me off was his comment was the location of their stadium is a little rough.
That
fucking thing has been there for 100 years,
and it's safe around there. And it's safe getting in and out of there.
It's to me as a Southsider.
Yeah, I just took it as
a fucking
I live on the Northwest Side. Yeah.
That was a complete.
It was a complete dig. It was a typical arrogant. Growing up in the South Side and now living in Schaumburg, it was a completely arrogant Northwest. And he's not. He's from New York, or he's from where he's from. But it was complete arrogant dismissal of the South Side. Yeah, that everything is shitty on the South Side.
It had nothing to do with baseball. I'm thinking.
No, you're absolutely right.
I mean, Hey, and I know they're a subpar product. Okay, I get that part, but I mean, man, I was pissed when I saw the clip. I'm like, do you just realize that in the time that it's going to take you to maybe build this new stadium, if you move it a little bit closer to Loop, do you realize that just for the next 3 or 5 years, you alienated every motherfucker that used to go to the game,
right?
That might want to go to the game? Yeah. You did a complete disservice to the fan base, and
the park.
Try rebuilding now, and that league needs to understand that
Chicago needs a Southside team. We need it. Yeah.
So let's just real quick.
Yeah.
Your grandsons,
Sox fans, all three of them.
But do they give a shit about baseball?
Yeah, I think they do. They follow it. Yeah. They enjoy the games. Not like we did, but I don't think. I mean, pick anything. It's different.
I know.
And our parents say we're get off my lawn. We're the get off my lawn people.
That's where I see there's a danger with expansion teams and all that stuff, is because you got to depend on the youth to do it. And if the youth are so distracted with all the other things they can do, and I'm not saying negatively, but if you're going to play the snare drums, or you're going to learn how to play your banjo, or you got all these other things that you can do. You know, back when we were kids, you followed sports because
it was the only thing
that's all you had, man. Yeah. You wanted to be, these Ron Kittle, Richie Zisk. You wanted to be these
playing
guys.
with your buddies in the backyard, wiffle ball, and you relive the great games.
But the kids don't do that now, and that's why I thought that what he said was such a disservice to.
But I will say, and I'm not sure where you're going with that angle on it, but having coached a travel sport for as long as I did. You need to be involved competitively in something, whether it's music, whether it's soccer, whether it's football, whether it's baseball or softball. Excuse me. If you want to, not even playing college. Everybody has designs to play pros, but even to playing, do the math on it, right?
It's
every kid plays at 8 years old, right? Who plays in high school? Yeah. The best of the best. It used to be you didn't have to play in a travel. There weren't travel teams when we were kids.
No.
The better athletes made the high school team, or most of the kids made the high school team, and the better athletes played. Now, if you don't play at least 6 years of travel before you get to high school, you won't play. You won't make a team.
Yeah.
Then pick the sport: club volleyball, club basketball, AAU basketball.
Everybody does.
Yeah. And I kind of get us derailed there. I was talking about bringing in other folks, and then we always. And I think that's been
the squirrel.
Yeah, but that's been the beauty of this podcast, is that someone brings something up and we go with it
down the rabbit hole.
What is
that?
Can
we talk about foot fungus?
Unrehearsed? Yeah, sure.
I can take off my shoe.
But you were just talking about family, and then the one as long as we're talking family. Over here, one more.
I do miss this.
It would also be cool to get in Father John if we could one more time.
Father John is the actual.
Speaking of Father John, he just went down to what is it, near Asheville,
North Carolina.
Oh, you told me he was going there to help people,
like part of Samaritan's Purse, or that group that was kind of.
It's through his church.
Okay.
But it's a separate organization that hooked up with this church.
It wasn't with FEMA.
He had to be vetted and everything like that. He borrowed some of my camping equipment.
Nice.
He left last Thursday. He should be back by now. I haven't talked to him, so I don't.
Let's try and get him in too, because I'd like to hear that.
Funny. That would be actually.
We as a country have forgotten about North Carolina already, and that's only been 3 weeks. right? 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
Well,
maybe.
Not everybody, but
But by and
as
large, it's not a number one news story anymore.
It's our major media, and it's because, well, let's not go down the political.
Well,
we're kind of-
the other
that's
thing
where we're going with this.
I just thought of when I was at the Binnies earlier, right on the street here, someone brought up that Crooks, the guy that killed, that tried to shoot Trump.
Yeah.
When's the last time
You heard
anything
yeah?
about that?
No, you didn't hear any of that.
Anything.
No.
Investigation. Did you hear any investigation?
Yeah. Well, they have. Did you get him? What was
Maybe put your shoes
bullshit
on,
about
it'll fly away.
the first guy was if they cremated the body.
Yeah.
Before they did any, they scrubbed his house. His house was like scrubbed.
How fucking criminal is that?
I mean, you don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to think that there's something going on there.
No.
Yeah.
But
what could they be hiding though?
Hold on a second, no squirrel. Let's go back to
You want to get who we want to get on?
and you
Father
were talking
John,
about
we can't get
family,
Crooks.
Father John, and then maybe you had again. I hate to keep going back to Patrick's passing, but you had a cousin that wanted to come on, right?
My cousin of mine.
Yeah.
Neil.
So we have 2 episodes left. So if
Okay.
Neil wants to squeeze in, let's get Neil in.
He's a teacher. Southside
would it
kid.
be bad if you got Father John in? I don't know
Talk
if you
to
ever
Cooter.
heard
I'll
of
see Cooter tomorrow.
Cooter. The episode, what was that one called?
The defrocking of Father John.
Yeah, but there was something else. something in the defrocking of Father John.
Oh, that
I should listen to these.
Oh, yeah, you should. You
look
should.
it up,
We did that one on the road in Father John's kitchen, and I was driving. I didn't drink it all, and one more typically was doing. Come on, one more.
Yeah, I did keep him out late.
2 of them were having a great time, but it was a great episode. There was some.
What about the guy?
Stuff?
Is it Matt? What's the guy's name that has been here at least twice?
Tim Kelly.
Tim.
Yeah.
We got Tim. We could always.
Yeah, we got Tim.
It's only because Tim
talk
loves
about
it.
his-
Tim loves it
Yeah,
and loves
talk
coming
about
here and
his-
loves.
Well, Timmy's
How's he doing? How's he doing?
Finally
Better?
getting along. Yeah,
All right, good,
yeah.
good.
He's got. He's still walking with a cane. I don't know if he's doing it to pick up chicks or what the deal is, but he's still got the cane. But he's doing
wasn't
better.
working before
But
the
we'll get people. We'll think about getting some
Maybe it was,
people
I
in.
don't know.
We'll think about getting some people in and finishing up that way and just kind of going down memory lane and stuff. But I would like to get Neil in if you want to get him in. Maybe for the next one.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice to get him in
Right.
because we got
Or I could
derailed
bring
there.
my buddy Sean O'Connor. Did you guys meet him at Pork Mafia? You met him at Pork Mafia. You weren't. Dave wasn't.
Oh, I
there.
did. Yeah.
He's good. He's a retired teacher, good guy too.
Did you see that Phil's have? Do you make mac and cheese? You see, they're having a mac and cheese bake off.
I can make mac and cheese. Yeah.
Dude, the Pork Mafia is having a.
When is it?
It's
The last Monday of the month.
No, I think it's the first. It's beginning of November. Check it out. It's on his Facebook
Was it
page.
first season?
So that'd be the fourth.
Was it second?
Probably second
It'd be the
season.
day before election. We could do our. Let's do it there.
Bring all this stuff
It's
here. We
election
can barely
day.
get it going here. Oh, good God!
It's
I'll
the day
have to
before
take
election.
the next day off. Listen, they're having a mac.
I think I might be working the day before.
Okay.
They're having a mac and cheese bake off.
No
thing.
shit.
And it's there's an entry fee, and I think the winner's $500 or winner take all. Something like that.
The angels above.
The angels above and the defrocking of Father John.
You have to say it like that.
I almost got it, dude.
Okay.
You got it. Listen, you got to listen to "Winning Is Everything."
Yeah.
The angels above and the defrocking of Father John, and you got to listen to some of the Waverly episodes.
That was the winning. And it was everything was right before that.
Yeah.
Season 2, episode 5 is winning it.
When I go back to the episodes, and I like to listen, it was
season 2, episode 6,
Hannah.
the defrocking. That was pretty good.
It was
you get
the
it?
one with Vrabes.
Did you guys see the video of Aaron Rodgers picking his nose and eating it during the game?
Oh no!
Oh, come on.
It's fucking awesome. He's doing one of these like the Smales kids.
$5.
He's sitting, just $100 the Smales kids pick his nose. $100 he eats it. But he's on the bench.
Come on, kid.
He's like
Come
he's
on.
doing this, and he goes.
Oh.
Anytime I can rip on Aaron Rodgers, I think it's great.
Yeah, but I don't need now. That's gonna keep me up all night, man.
Oh, like
Good
you've
thing
never
you
eaten
did it.
burgers? Come on,
Yeah.
Dude.
I just did.
All right, that's
Not intentionally.
enough. Can we not do this,
Oh, sorry.
squirrel?
No,
but let's get it.
I haven't seen it, but I'm definitely going to look it up.
Can you extend it on the video version when he gets a chance? This is going to be overlaid in this section
of Aaron Rodgers picking
Aaron Rodgers,
or do the thing from Caddyshack. Do both.
Yeah, side by side, a versus. But yeah, let's try and get Father John in, and then extend an invitation to a couple other people. But work with Neil.
All right.
Try and see if we can figure that out. Let's get him in.
I told you he came. He was the cousin came to the Sox game I was telling you about,
Yeah.
and then where else did I see him? I saw him one other time after that. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Aaron Rodgers picks Booger.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
It's the best.
Aaron Rodgers clears the air on Booger Gate after viral sideline.
Oh, my God. Maybe this should be the last episode right now.
Denies eating booger on live TV.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Eats booger before.
All right, so let's get into it. We might as well just do it now and get it over with. Let's get it.
He's literally it's like he's doing this, like he's like doing the upper part. He's not digging this. Like doing the upper part. He's not digging this way.
How does he not know that he's on camera the whole time? Though?
Did you ever have when you can't breathe right? I've had it. I've gotten busted in the car digging for gold, like driving on the expressway.
Oh, then like all of a sudden somebody's looking at you,
and you got to like
pick a winner.
Like,
it's usually when you go pick a winner.
Flick it at him, roll down the window and flick it at him,
like just like you're, and then you turn
like the soccer players do. Yeah, like the blow snot. Yeah. All right, let's just get it.
Are you like my sister? Because you start talking about picking and she starts getting that gag reflex going.
I can on occasion. It just depends.
You start thinking about it a little too much, and you're like,
"Oh, well, yeah." I mean, I can. I can if it turns out to be that way, But
if it turns out to be that way,
did we ever have your sister in on an episode?
No,
we never did, huh?
Oh, what? Well, which one? Either one's could be dangerous.
Well, Karen would be one
also. We should have
perspective,
both
but Diane would just be.
Do you have a sister named Karen? You have all three of our sisters named Karen.
Yeah,
the Karen episode.
Yeah.
So we got to get a little cat puppy from like the memes.
Yeah. So we're coming back. We're not shutting it down. Is that what I'm hearing now? And all of a sudden there's all these episode ideas.
Oh, we had 6 months.
Sorry, when we do our own.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're moving.
Yeah, you're moving. Yeah.
So
I'll do it overnight.
Who's writing me the check for the equipment?
It's not that much. We can get it on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
You can do things on. Get the new iPhone. We can do everything on the new iPhone.
Yeah, actually, you can. I mean, I was looking up on YouTube on like the settings. I forgot the settings for the camera to make sure they're decent.
Yeah.
It's on your cup. It's a fruit fly.
Did you get it?
No, it's on your cup. But there it is.
I had some in it the other day too. It's just extra.
Damn it! No.
Oh, there is one in there.
Oh, there you go.
That's worse than picking your nose and eating it.
Yeah. Fruit fly. You don't know where the fruit fly's been. You know where your boogers at.
Why don't you have some?
Drink it, Aaron.
You have some fucking Malort.
It's right there.
Malort. So, hey, the Malort thing, that's gotten really popular.
It is, yeah.
Did I see there's a Malort Fest?
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's not new. Malort's been around forever.
Dude, it's getting publicized like crazy now. That stuff's
there's a lot of sick people in this world.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I had a...
Talking about gagging.
Yeah. Two Bears tailgates, right?
Just kidding.
We talked quite a bit a couple times about tailgating.
Yeah.
And the last two home games, my wife's cousins sent me a text and like, hey, can we come hang at your tailgate? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, of course, yeah. Do you have tickets? Well, yeah, we got tickets. So like 6 or 8 of them came, and they ended up selling their tickets in the parking. They sold their tickets in the parking lot. But anyways, the next week, Sheila came, and with Sheila, her cousin Larry, that I split tickets with, myself, and whoever the fourth one was, a friend of Larry's.
Now you're keeping these tickets.
These I'm keeping.
Okay.
And the same people came, and then Sheila's one cousin's wife came as well. And they're like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like, they didn't have tickets. They just came down to tailgate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they...
show the folks the sign.
Weren't we supposed to do an episode from tailgate?
We were.
Good.
Yeah.
What happens in the South Lot stays in the South Lot. Yes.
It absolutely does. I mean, there's been a stripper pole out there.
Not at my tailgate.
The bear ambulance.
Bearbulance. There's a bunch of bearbulance.
What do they call it? A bearbulance?
Bearbulance.
Bearbulance.
Basically, someone retrofitted.
Yeah, you can buy it. I almost did. You can buy an ambulance online for like $3,500. Like I almost bought one. Like two different types: the van kind and the box. Like the box truck kind.
Of course you did.
And on Facebook Marketplace, and this guy Larry I shared tickets with. He's
where do you live, Schaumburg?
Yeah.
Right. So you need to learn to play this on your banjo.
Yeah, it's because somebody just stole it out of the emergency room parking lot.
Mr. Jim, you cannot have this in your driveway. The village of Schaumburg thinks this is an eyesore.
Parking in the parking lot of Chicago. I'm telling you, he'd let me do it. But you have to have it bear tricked out.
You know where it's going to be. It'll be at Bartolini's. Chris and Dominic let you park it down there.
They had Chris and Dominic.
Here's $20. Go around the block with the sirens on. Woo!
Yeah, put a Bartolini's.
Remember that in Slapshot?
But Sheila said, absolutely no. All the crazy shit you've done, absolutely no.
Really?
Come on.
Yeah.
Dude, you've worn onesies and wrappers and all kinds of shit.
I still do.
And she won't let you have the Bambulance or what's it called?
Bearbulance.
The Burbulance?
Bear, B-E-A-R, Bulance.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Seriously? How much was it going to be?
Well, $3,500 for the ambulance. Probably another $5,000 to have it fixed up, and another $10,000 to have it like tricked out, like tricked out, like with a
sounds like the Hornet
kegerator and
kegerator.
So what is that? $20,000 total.
Boop, boop, boop.
At that point, you might as well just get a conversion van.
I'm going to be 60. I could start pulling from my 401k and not get a penalty.
There you go.
Oh my God. You could be like bussing with the boys, though. You get it? We could put the podcast equipment in there, and you could have a podcast from
drive around. Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Be the Bearcast.
Microphone.
Be the Bearcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, you on the bike.
Yeah. That'd be cool, having that big speaker. So speaking of...
or something like, what was it, the Belushi and the Blues Brothers?
Yeah.
With the big speaker on the...
Yeah.
Yes. You on the bike.
Yes.
Driving down the beach.
The Blues Brothers, show band and review.
Yeah. So speaking of bussing with the boys and the Bears and all the good things going on, we were talking about podcasts and stuff, and we're 27 minutes in on this segment. And one more, you had mentioned earlier that we're coming up to November.
Yep.
We always said we would never get political. I took us down that political path a little bit. Religious, political, and we went that way and everything.
So far today.
But I'm going to give you guys both the opportunity. I'm not going to start because if I start, I'll take us. I'll see what temperament you want to use on it. But you mentioned it. The election's coming up. There's no denying everything that's going on. What are your thoughts of the whole thing? You looking forward to it being over?
Oh my God!
Are you tired of the mail? You tired of the?
I'm just tired
TV?
Of all the TV ads and the spam, the phone calls, your everything popping up on your social media, and just get it over with. I'm just curious how it's going to be once it is over. And it could be you hear about prior. Ballots being changed. Is there early voting already going on, depending upon what you listen to, and then I'll be happy when it's over.
What about you?
I'm going to be very careful on how I say what I say. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of a lot of the bullshit that we talked about. No matter what happens, 50.3% of the country is going to be incensed, or 49.7% of the country is going to be incensed. Yeah. And shit is probably going to get torn up. One way or the other.
It's going to get...
And regardless of who you're for or who you're not for, it's ridiculous. We used to have civil discourse. Used to be able to... we went out to dinner with, I think, 8 of us, so 4 couples.
Where'd you go?
Not Chicago Prime Italian. Went to Perry's. Not Barley's.
Not bringing that one in there.
Harry's. Yeah. And I lean to the right, hard. And this guy sitting next to me, which we've known him since our kids were little. He's a wonderful person. I miss being able to do. Him and I, he's hard left. And we just discussed politics. And everybody else was at the table was like, oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
These guys are going to go at it.
Well, yeah, and what I started with saying, and it used to be the case, I don't think it is anymore, both sides used to try to get basically to the same result.
Yeah.
And it's not the case anymore. And it's unfortunate. And I think when do you think it started? Because I know I have a firm opinion in my head when it started. The hard right. No, so I think whatever reason, when George Bush got elected, the son, that whole shit with the hanging chads and all the bullshit in Florida, that's when people drew lines in the sand, and that line, this country used to swing. The pendulum would go end to end, but it never went further than most parts of the middle.
Yeah, everybody always had some part of the other party's.
And divided government is good.
Yeah,
if you remember with Clinton, in the early '90s, we had a divided government. We had and it
wasn't that bad when Clinton was there.
No, but my point is you had to govern to the middle because you had everybody. You couldn't get anything done unless there was compromise. Now it's. You're Hitler, you're fascist, you're communist, and speaking like that won't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for the masses.
No, you gotta have
they've polarized people intentionally, and for the division, for the better good of it's not your idea is wrong. It's you're Hitler.
Yeah.
And it's not your idea is wrong. It's you're Karl Marx, and it's the worst of the worst in people.
Yeah. Well, you're telling people that you're the worst thing in our country is going to go crazy if you're elected, and it's on both sides.
But unfortunately,
you know what I mean.
It's almost like they want that to happen for some reason. I don't understand why. Yeah.
It's a shame that. I mean, when I look back when we were a lot younger. And my favorite president of all time, my favorite president of all time was Reagan. And I think we talked about this one time on the podcast before. I'll take one as long as you're there. Yeah, you can just. It's in the freezer on the top.
Are there extra flies back there?
But my favorite president was Reagan, and I think you look back at that, and there was opportunity there where things were accomplished successfully.
But Tip O'Neill, right? Remember, Tip O'Neill was the Democrat.
Yeah,
and he had to work with him to get things done. And Clinton had to work with Republicans to get things done.
But they did. But now it's interesting you use the thing or the phrase where you said there's a line drawn in the sand. It's crazy. And what's mind-boggling to me with everything that's going on now, I'm with you. Yeah. You came in today and you walked up the driveway and you saw what's on top of my flagpole. There's no doubt where I'm at. And I don't have a problem with it. I mean, there was a part of me that said, all right, maybe I shouldn't do this, but I did it. Right. And I'm just like, look, it is what it is, and the beauty of this country is that you should be able to do that without retribution.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that there will be retribution or however it goes down. Bottom line is that. Well, I'll just say it.
I'll just opener for that.
No, I'll just say this is that I'm Trump all the way.
Yep.
And
I was prepared to vote for Bobby Kennedy.
And for me now, and I've said this to a bunch of friends. They're like, "Well, how can you?" I said, "Now listen, I just want to tell you something. I am not."
Kennedy was.
I am not. I don't agree.
He's kind of closest to the middle.
Right.
Donald Trump, personally, he's pretty much a scumbag. Okay.
He's a douchebag of a person, but he governed well. I thought.
And can he get things?
Bill Clinton was a douchebag of a person and governed well. Yeah.
Democrats didn't have a problem with that, did they? Okay. And as long as stuff is getting done,
someone sent me a text while we were here.
Set that. You need to set that aside, and that's what I don't see going on now. Is that there just needs to be a common sense approach to some of this, and it's not happening.
As a lifelong Democrat, I clearly will be voting for who will be the second black president, Donald Trump. My man was shot. He worked at McDonald's and has kids from 3 different baby mamas. He's blacker than Tupac.
Touche. He's right.
But I mean, in the last election, I voted for the Libertarian. What was that woman's name? I couldn't even tell you the Libertarian now. I mean, just because I couldn't, I couldn't vote for Biden. I couldn't vote for Biden for anything. I think Kamala is, for whatever you want to say about Biden, he was a lifelong politician.
Yeah.
And he knew how to work a room. Everybody could hate him, but he knew how to work a room. Kamala is an empty suit. There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
She's a vacuum.
Well, the only reason Biden won the election is because people didn't want Trump in. Just because he was Trump.
But I get that. And the reason why Trump won the first one is because people didn't want Hillary. There's no, it was an anti-Hillary vote.
No, I don't think you're right on that one.
Yeah,
I think the reason Trump won that one is he outsmarted them on how to what states to win. If you look at it now,
and it was Wisconsin, Pennsylvania.
And if you look at it now, the Democrats are not playing that game that they did with Hillary. They thought they were going to take that with Hillary, and then now, if you look at it, the Democrats don't even spend any money in the states where they know they're going to win it. I mean, Hillary was going, like Hillary came to Illinois and stuff. They spent money here. It was bullshit. They finally figured. Trump knew, he's like, fuck that. I'm going to lose that. And that just goes back to he's a businessman.
Yeah.
He understands where, look, I'm not investing in this. I'm not spending money in here. It's a lost leader. All right, fine.
I would have voted in a minute for Tulsi Gabbard as a Democrat.
As a Democrat?
As a Democrat.
Okay.
Let me think. Who else was on the ticket? There was like 11 of them. Who else? Well, not because Biden ran
there was
this time,
there
but
was
last
a
time.
ton of them. Was that the guy with the bowl haircut, the black hair, Dennis Kucinich?
No, I wouldn't vote for him.
Bernie?
There was a whole bunch of Bernie. God, there was a ton. Well, she was in it. Kamala was in it too.
She got 0.0%.
There was a ton of them.
As many votes as she got this time.
Yeah, so why is she in it now? I don't know. What do you think about the whole them just kind of dropping Biden and then putting her, appointing her in there?
Honestly, I think that was orchestrated. I honestly think that they set up Biden with that debate, knowing he was going to fucking step on his dick.
But still, I mean, if I was a Democrat and I was actually interested in the primary and voting for who I want for the primary, and then to have my party go and do a switch like that in the middle of it, it's like, where was my choice in picking my primary candidate? You know, I don't think that was. It was just kind of crap.
It's just weird. It's weird
like
times.
They set him up.
It's weird times.
But I mean,
and there's such.
How do you set him up like that? But then, months before that, you were just saying how he's so great.
Yeah,
and he's so competent. Yeah, but
that's where. If you look at it, if you're part of the Democratic Party, that's their own fault from the beginning. They should have recognized from the beginning that Joe Biden was not going to be the guy regardless in the beginning.
Yeah, but
they should have had...
this is what I'll tell you. And when he ran against Trump, if you remember, it was like the third primary when everybody dropped out. And their internal polling showed that the only person out of these 11 that can even go head-to-head against Trump is Biden. The numbers showed it, and that's why they had him. They met with everybody, and I think they orchestrated.
But he still had his faculties back then.
Yeah, right.
At least some of them.
You got to go back to it. Well, and I'm probably wrong on this too, because now I think about it from a Republican standpoint. Is that everyone thought for sure that DeSantis was going to be the guy on the Republican side, and he got blown away by Trump.
And I'll tell you, and when he got on the big stage, his nuts shriveled to a raisin, and he kind of shit the bed his first couple debates.
Yeah,
but he's a great governor. I think
he is. I mean,
and he took charge of not Helene, the one after Helene. What was the one the second one? Milton. Yeah. That he had it all figured out. I mean, he had it all dialed up. Yeah,
those press conferences with him. I mean,
and then also too with the second assassination attempt, he's instead of letting the feds handle the whole,
correct.
He's like, you know what, we'll do a little more investigating. Yeah. We'll take it as a state.
And you're right, but look at what you said about him and his performance on the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
And he got up there to the podium, set everything else aside on what you may think of him as a person that you hang out with as a personal friend. As far as management style and being able to get the job done, I'm going to tell you, that guy, if when he's not governor, that's the guy that should be in charge of fucking FEMA. for anybody. That guy had his shit together for
as
that
long
hurricane.
as he has autonomy to run it the way. Which the problem is, it's a bureaucracy. So he won't have,
I get it, but you get what I'm saying though.
Right.
You find the right person for the job, and that is that guy's niche.
Right.
That guy, he had that press conference. Now you go to Marble Word Salad, and you ask her shit, and she can't do that. And then that's why I can set aside that Donald Trump is a douchebag in so many respects, but he's a businessman. He looks at this as a business arrangement. Who gives a shit? Can you even imagine? So, can you even imagine if Donald Trump cocktailed?
Oh, the shit that would be coming out of his mouth.
Well, you know,
he doesn't drink.
Right, he doesn't drink.
He does not believe in that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
The conversation that would be coming out, I can only admit.
No, or could you imagine what how much more checkered his checkered past would be?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Be a lot more NDAs.
Well, and kind of getting back to today's politics. Well, that's the worst part about it is everybody's all about, I don't like him personally, or I don't like her personally. But look at when you actually listen to him talk, and you listen to her talk, she runs around every conversation and never answers a question directly or gives an answer. He kind of runs around it a little bit, but he gets back to the point and he pushes the points on the subject.
Right.
And he says how he's going to fix something. And then when he was in office, because he was a president, he actually, he did a lot of that rhetoric, but he still, the policies that he pushed were good.
I'm curious to see if he had a clean, clean presidency. And by that I mean if he had 4 years without COVID.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious to see what would have happened.
Yeah.
But I like his one response that he has now is that he's asked the question when any candidate, let's just say this was the primary and they were all in it, and he's been asked several times. He goes, and they've asked him, "What would you do this time differently if you're elected than you did the first time?" And his response to me, I think, is a game changer for people that may have been on the fence, they may have been on the bubble, is he said that the first time he was in, he didn't know how Washington worked. He didn't know.
He didn't know anybody.
He took these recommendations and he said, I didn't have the right people.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he kept firing people left and right, is because he's used to having people that he can trust.
I just think
he's dealing with a bunch of politicians that'll
But I'll
talk
also
out
say,
both sides of their mouth.
I'm going to be like Trump. I'm going to bring this back to me.
Yeah.
The weave?
Yeah.
Calls it the weave.
In order to effectively manage, you have to effectively manage. And what I mean by that is, when you're in charge, you got to be in charge.
Yeah.
And kind of like when DeSantis ran the hurricane issues and any of the other disasters that have happened, Florida's a beautiful place to live most of the time.
Yeah.
And when it's not, they get fucking ruined. And
From like June to December.
Yeah, right. But so when I managed travel softball, like it or not, I was in charge, and every decision was mine. And I took advice from only one person, and this was a guy that I coached with our older daughters, and he didn't have a daughter on the team with my younger daughter, and so he didn't have a vested interest in his daughter's playing time. He didn't invest. His vested interest was doing what was best for this team. So I listened to him. The other two guys that I coached with were dads, and so they always had a slant on their kid.
Yeah.
And I tried to be objective as a father, but I was a manager, and my daughter paid the price from it sometimes because every away tournament, when we would go overnight somewhere, she would sit the first game, and she hated it. But I sent a message to the rest of the parents: you can't bitch about playing time, because my daughter sat first, and she shouldn't sit a pitch, let alone an inning. Yeah. And so, shut your mouth. And what I used to tell the parents at the beginning of the year, I go, people love me or they hate me, and both are earned. And you need to get over it because it's non-negotiable.
I think I should vote for you for president.
Yeah, but that's a great way. You need to lead by example.
To lead, you got to be in charge. You have to be in charge.
Yeah.
And you also have to have people with you that you can trust to do the jobs when you tell them to do a job.
Yeah.
And like you said, I remember hearing that about him saying, he's like, well, I'm not a politician. I came into this. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know how the politics worked. Now that he's coming back into it, he's made connections. He's also.
But my issue is his ego is so.
No, I absolutely know what you mean. And the thing that I find absolutely astonishing is that this is a guy Look, man, I tell you, I feel like I got pretty strong armor, but you keep coming at me and trying to knock me down. I mean,
he got shot in the head. He got grazed, but he got shot in the head.
No, but not even that. But they've tried to
impeach him twice. What?
Yeah.
Right?
Jail him how many times? Jail him, bankrupt him, and everything, and
but
tell him he can't do this and everything. And so all I want to let me just say this is that the guy is still in it for what? He could walk the fuck
I think now
away
he's in it for his
and
life
play golf
Yeah.
every day of his life.
Because they want to put him in jail no matter what. So I think he's in it now to keep himself out of jail, is what it is.
Yeah. I call bullshit on that. I think if he walked away, you'd see all this shit go away.
Disappear, you think?
I think there's
some people so much venom that they want so much bloodlust.
Well, they want something out of them.
Yeah.
They're going to get something out of them, yeah.
But so the two things that he did that show
they're letting the Menendez brothers out of fucking prison.
Did you see that?
They announced that this afternoon.
So,
I know. I see.
I don't want to hear
He's got balls of fucking steel. Do you know what he said? When he did another speech at the place where he was shot. Right?
Yeah.
He said,
Butler, Pennsylvania.
Do you know how he started it? As I was saying.
Yeah.
And then when he was in Queens,
he started off where wait, hold on a second. Last time I was here, I got shot.
Yeah.
Now I'm back. Now let me finish what I was talking about.
That's a gangster move. That's a gangster move.
He was on some podcast too. He's like, they're holding me down. I was like, stop holding me down.
And it's obvious at this point now where the three of us stand.
But the other thing he said in New York, he said when he did that speech at the Catholic Charities dinner that he was at.
Yeah, the Al Smith
dinner. He said, see that one. It's nice to be here in New York without a subpoena. He starts listing all the things.
Kind of comical, yeah.
Yeah, and I love the way he broke bad on Schumer.
Yeah, and he's closer than you and I were.
Yeah. I
didn't see.
He said, even if he goes, and Chuck Schumer, if one of the benefits, if I lose, you still have the chance to become the first woman president.
Yeah, and he was sitting there right next to the podium.
That's great,
dude. It was really good, but it's obvious where the three of us stand.
Well, I'm not saying I'm voting for Trump. I'm saying I won't vote for Kamala. And I almost went and voted today.
I mean, you hate to be that way, but do you really think your vote matters in Illinois?
It doesn't.
For Trump,
No.
I mean,
no.
I'd like to.
But every non-name on the ballot,
I'd like to see it go up a little bit and actually see our state.
I think you should still go vote, though.
No, I'm going. I'm going to vote.
I've never.
And I'd actually like to go. I'd actually like to see because I'd like to see if there's some common sense
elections
coming
are
out.
won and lost. Is people who say, "Oh, well, it doesn't matter because he can't win this state." You don't know that. Now, the likelihood. But look at a state like New York. Okay, where
Georgia,
it's almost like Illinois, where it's always been Democratic. It's always going to go whatever. But that's where he's from. He spent a lot of time. You don't know. You don't know. And listen, and that's what's wrong. All right,
that's why you can never get rid of the Electoral College.
No, yes, and you're correct on that. But here's the other thing is that we talked earlier in segment 1 when we first started talking about. Wrapping up the podcast and where we're going to go. We were talking about you've got your kids.
Now it sounds like we need 2 more seasons.
No, and you've got your grandkids and you got all the things going on. Is you can't be complacent. And you have to teach your kids and the younger generation. We were talking about the White Sox and how the younger generation is important to the fan base and everything. Is that you have to lead by example with that, and your vote counts. Your vote counts. Once you start, if every person that had kids in Illinois started telling their kids, well, Illinois is always going to be a Democrat thing, and you're a Republican, don't ever vote.
Parents are lazy, and
you know what I'm saying?
They're already doing it.
Then what are you going to do? What if they transplant like my kids to another state?
Yeah.
And it's been instilled in them.
Yeah.
But now their vote matters in Nevada where they're at. I just really think that. And I used to think it was a bullshit thing where people would say, well, if you don't vote, you don't have a right to...
No, I agree with that.
There's a ton of truth to that.
Shut your mouth if you don't vote.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No,
I'm not saying that I wasn't going to go vote. It was just
I wasn't implying that you were, but I'm just saying I get it.
Do you think it's going to matter in Illinois? And anything, I'll go vote, and I'm hoping more people go vote and kind of see... because it's always blue and red's down here, but it's nice to see maybe some of that red climb back up.
I always, because any person running unopposed, I always write my name in.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing with all of that is to know that you did.
So we've got like 5
You
votes.
did.
Yes.
You did what you've. We talked about the American Legion, right? Earlier about the beer that was in there and everything. And I go there and I see these veterans. And right now at the Legion, our veteran base is all Vietnam vets. We don't have any WW2s left. Well,
they're all dying off.
Yeah. So it's all
unfortunately in their.
And you look at these guys that fought in the Forgotten War to where they got all this ridicule and everything. And I look at it as it's guys like this that have fought and are scarred for life with all the things they went through to continue to give you the freedom and the ability to go and vote. Therefore, I think
you owe it to them. Yeah,
you owe it to them
right.
to go and vote. That's all I'm getting at on that. And I don't want to sound like I'm an over the top patriot, but that's just. I dare you to go sit down there and have a beer with one of those guys and look them in the face and tell them that you're not going to vote.
Yeah. Well, my uncle was in Vietnam. He's no longer with us, but that's how I got my namesake.
Yeah.
He was in there when I was born and wasn't sure if he was coming back.
Yeah. He did make it back, though.
Oh, he made it back, but unfortunately, he died there. And cancer got him.
Oh, shit. Okay. So like Agent Orange or something.
Yeah. He had some issues with his, there was, a lot of that going on. But
I just think that if you can't, I just don't think it's right.
Yeah,
I don't think it's right.
So they thought some of that. But
so
from what he got,
the thing I'm seeing that's crazy encouraging, which I said I didn't know who I was going to vote for, but yesterday and today I went to go vote, and yesterday there was 200 people in line at the early voting.
That's nice.
And today there was more.
What was the demographics? Were the younger kids? Because I know.
No, it was
my son's
it was during the day, so it was people my age or
yeah, probably doing the early vote.
People in their 30s,
it's kind of good seeing the young people get into it though too. Like my son Joe was into it, and the nice thing too is like the mainstream media seems to be kind of biased, but it's nice to because there's so much alternative in your flag. Like you were talking about the Bussin' with the Boys, and doing this alternative media, and other people are getting to see
closer
other points. No, there was a fly here. I didn't breathe it in, so.
Because it would taste like cayenne.
So do your kids, without throwing them underneath the bus, do your kids lean your way?
Yeah. Actually,
do you think it's because of you? Do you think it's because of their upbringing, or do you think it's just them on their own?
Oh, it's probably because I'm ranting and raving once I'm walking around the house like a lunatic sometimes when yelling at mainstream TV if the TV's on, and it's just because it's so biased. And
but you strike me as a right-leaning independent, meaning.
Yeah,
if there was a good person that came along, like a good candidate.
Oh, I don't care. Yeah,
you would vote for them.
Yeah, because I was looking at
that's what I consider myself.
Well, I was going to change it up too. Is like, what do you think about the vice presidents? You know what I mean? I'm not crazy about what's his name in Kamala's side from Minnesota.
Tim Walz.
Yeah, but I was also reading an article.
Walsey's World.
But I was also reading about his stance on environmental issues, being that we like to hunt and fish.
Yeah.
And he's actually very good on that, which is
except for he can't load a shotgun. But
well, actually, there was the article read that there was people that know him, and sure, it was like Aaron Rodgers just got caught picking his nose or whatever. But he's actually supposedly very
well. He's from Minnesota, so he's not from Minnesota, but he lives in Minnesota.
And he was on the cabinet for the environment. I don't remember the article exactly how it worded, but like you said, I'm like,
You vote on the issues, not on the person, or not on the party.
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of like,
and that's how it should be. It's how it should be.
Yeah. I don't care what your personal views are. What do you do behind closed doors? It's between you.
Because that's what
it's legal
I love when they,
whatever. I don't care.
When they like Trump has said, I've given Schumer, I gave you your first check.
Yeah.
And he was a builder and a businessman in New York. He paid the people that were going to help him build his buildings. Yeah. And that's who he supported.
Yeah.
And
I know. Yeah, so, but that's where I was getting at.
Right.
But then you got, I don't know, like Vance. I mean, that guy, I love that guy. I love listening.
Everything about him. He's doing a town hall tonight.
I'm loving the.
Did you see him at the bar in Wisconsin pouring the beers from behind there with the tapper? And
no, but I just love some of the interviews he does, and it's just like even with them two debating each other.
Yeah,
calling him out right. Yeah, just like, hey, I thought you said you weren't going to fact check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? because you seen the way the first one went, and they just kind of picked. You know, I mean, you can see who's running the debate and stuff like that.
There's just
and then just the way he just turned around and like, no, this is not the way it's going to go. This is what you said it was going to be, and then let's talk about the issues. And he
had such a command of the issues.
Yeah. So you seem like that you're pretty fair. You admitted that you're like independent / right leaning a little bit.
I'm a lot of things, but fair would be probably one.
So let me say this, and so I'll take your opinion. I'll take your opinion / judgment on what I'm about to say.
You should cut your hair.
Yeah. So you have J.D. Vance and you have Trump, and then you have
Kamala and Tim Walz.
Harris and Walz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, to your point that you just brought up, one more. You got two strong individuals that are commanding and are forceful.
I don't think Trump is as commanding on the issues as Vance is. Vance knows the talking points. He knows the information.
Yeah.
I just see that. But I also think he's much more intelligent.
I just see
he comes across as very
I just see it's.
I think Vance is the future of the Republican Party.
There's such a difference between the two parties right now that confidence versus bullshit.
We'll see. We'll see in 11 days.
And back to what you were saying, or you were both saying, where you can kind of go back and forth with the parties and stuff.
I don't think we're saying that.
We have.
I don't think so.
No, you were.
No, I'm just saying I can agree with him on some of his
issues. Like there's issues,
right? But you brought up where Walz has things.
But that's also a Republican-Democrat thing, anyway. Says usually your Democrats are usually better on conservative issues about saving land, not polluting this stuff. And
so I misspoke a little bit on that.
Republicans are more about
conservative, meaning conservation issues, not conservative issues,
right? Conservation. Whereas Republicans are trying to build and factories, which kind of
drill, baby, drill.
And when you brought that up, that triggered me to say the following: is that I have a friend.
Wow,
a personal.
Yeah, we also have to be able to drive to go out to the woods.
I have a personal friend who's running as a Democrat, and I support him in the position that he's running for as a Democrat.
Is it a local position?
It's a local position. Yeah. So, and I support him in that because the other person that's running
around here, he can't run as a Republican.
No, it doesn't have the experience and everything that this person has, and so I can see how you can be one way here, one way there, and whatever. I do think that that's the beauty of our system, though, is that you have the ability to formulate your own opinion and make that decision based on what is best for you, especially in our region and the things that we
our
have
local, our Illinois state. What would it be? It would be not a senator. It would not state senator, state congressperson, right?
Yeah.
Not for the
representative,
but for Illinois, not in Washington.
Yeah.
In Schaumburg, his name is Raj. It's an Indian name guy. Not that it matters, but that's his name. He's a Democrat. Schaumburg, you're not allowed to have parties technically, so there are no political parties. You can't.
We can't come to your house and party.
Well, there's parties in my house. Yeah.
But in the Barbalance.
Yeah. No, that's in my dreams. But this guy Raj, right?
Raj,
started getting texts, from the bot text, whatever, and emails. So I replied the same thing on the text. I'm like, hey, I'd love to talk to you about some issues. I'm a right-leaning independent. It comes back. The number you dialed is not to accept text. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So the email comes back. Said it was him. Asked me, what do you want to talk about? I go, I just want to know your opinion on a myriad of things and he and I engaged. I met him at either a Memorial Day parade, I guess it was. Well, yeah, he was marching the parade. We was there with our grandkids, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm Jimmy Greavy." And he remembered interacting with me. He's the guy I would vote for. I would vote for him because he cared enough to engage with the opposition, call it the opposition, wanted to know my thoughts on what do you think? And we went back and forth on several issues. And forgive me now, I'm not going to make it up because I don't remember the exact points we talked about. But he was great and he cared. And maybe he was full of shit but at least he did due diligence.
Put the time in.
And he put the time in.
Yeah. We're almost at an hour.
Oh wow!
On this segment.
I can't hear you. I just pulled my cord out.
And it's I think
one better topics.
One more said earlier. He's like, all the podcasts now are going long format, and I'm like, well, we're not going to be that long. And then here we are, we're
58 minutes
at an hour. So
we could whittle that down to 49.
Yeah, we can do that. So I think we've made it clear where the three of us stand.
Here's really clear how I stand. Vote. Don't tell the world your vote. If you want to, you can, but don't be mad at me for my vote.
Yeah.
And I won't be mad at you for years. I live in a divided house. Cubs and White Sox tend to be conservative, tend to be liberal. And we figured out a way to get along because we don't complain about.
What about politically? Are you divided?
Oh, yeah, that's what you said. She's liberal, I'm conservative. Yeah.
What's your final thoughts? And then we're going to wrap this segment up, come back and clean everything up.
Yeah, we're pretty much conservative, leaning on our.
Yeah. I do like what
I'm
you said.
trying to brainwash my kids.
Respect.
Yeah. But actually, getting back to Emma, Emma's just got on the high school government.
Good for her. Oh, cool.
She went down to Springfield last year. And she seen how it was run, and she got a little pissed. She did wait because she put all this time in there, and then the Senate. She was in the representative, whatever, and the Senate took up all the time, so they didn't get the chance to speak, and it put a little spark that she was just like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well,
so
good for her.
So now push that as much. That's awesome.
Yeah. So one teacher's pushing it.
My thought on this is I'm with you. Not that I'm not with you. I am with you on what my family is and where we're at on that, but I'm with you too. I think people should just respect who you vote for and leave it at that.
The world's not going to end if Trump gets elected. The world's not going to end if Kamala Harris gets elected. It's going to change.
I disagree with you on that. The world's going to end if that fucking woman is elected.
I don't think so. I don't think the system is created.
Dude, you can't listen. She can't answer anything.
My problem with the possibility of her being elected, it'll be extension of the Biden administration, and I don't think Biden's making any decisions. I don't think he is. I don't know who is.
That's what's the problem.
But the same people are going to be
bullshit. I call bullshit on it. You know why? Because those two factions are not getting along as it is. Biden's people are not getting along with Harris's people. Biden's people are all pissed off because they pulled their running.
But that's the
but Biden's people are running the country.
No, I don't think Biden's people are running the country.
Listen, that lady has 3% of her original staff left. Okay. So if she wins, who the fuck is going to be running this country? Who are the 3% that stuck by her? They're bigger idiots. At least 97% of them left and said, "Fuck you, this isn't going on." I don't want to go down this road because we're over an hour right now. Well, I'm just telling you, you're out of your mind.
I'm kind of with him. If she wins, it's going to be a bigger shit show than
it's going to be a big shit show. But the world's not going to end.
No. Well.
It's not bullshit. It's not going to end, but I'm going to tell you, there's going to be people are already taking advantage of Biden being a lame duck and being in a fucking coma and doing the shit that they're doing. You got all this stuff going on around the world, and you don't think the fact that she's a woman for one.
People on the radio.
I am angry because I think I call bullshit on all this. It will be worse.
I didn't say it'd be better, or I did just.
Where's my water? I got to get more water and canned goods.
Listen to what I never said.
Gas for my generator.
I think it will be worse. Yeah. Well, will it be worse than what Biden's done? Inflation can't keep going up. And
no, because Biden hasn't done anything. That's your problem there.
Worse. Yeah. The wars could definitely get worse.
The wars can, but we have to stop being the world's police. We're not the world's police.
We stopped that.
We did for 4 years. We stopped it.
We have stopped it. But you pay a bigger price for that.
Did you? Yeah. You pay what you give up is the power isn't our word. You give up the authority.
Yeah.
You give up the moral authority of being the world's.
So here's how you quantify that and you make that
it's a big
known
word.
as that.
Word of the day, toilet.
It is that it's the difference between the police in the United States of America when they're able to do their job, and the police in the United Kingdom. Police in the United Kingdom carry a billy club, and that's it. Police in the United States of America can carry a weapon, so they can really.
I'll argue the other
something.
side of it. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. Guns aren't allowed in the UK, so you don't technically. When's the last? You don't hear of random shootings.
No, you just hear random machete attacks and stabbings. Yeah. Okay,
well, you get that here.
And the end result, yeah. Well,
and that's part of that.
Usually, the people with the machetes and all this stuff are the bullshit people they let in over the fucking border anyway.
That I agree.
We need to cut this out because I'm getting all piped up, and Joe Rogan's going to be calling us, and
Well, we wanted the viral moment.
The virus moment.
Yeah, viral.
This is Windy City Redneck, the podcast, season 4, episode 4. Reverse countdown.
Beginning of the end.
3, 2, 1.
The beginning of the end of the world.
This is number 3 of 3, 2, 1. We'll be back. We're going to wrap things up right after this.